After this year's Age Level World Championship so far, I think it's safe to say that we're in the golden era of USA Wrestling. With so many world champs and world medalists standing out, it makes it difficult to highlight just one athlete. Luckily, there were two guys that were really outstanding, Mitchell Messenbrink and Meyer Shapiro.
Before that, Meyer Shapiro.
And Meyer Shapiro both had amazing runs at the U20 World Championships, with Meyer taking home gold at 70 kg and Mitchell taking home gold at 74 kg. Right after their performances, FloWrestling correspondent John Kozak X'd out a poll: who wins, Meyer Shapiro or Mitchell Messenbrink? After 395 votes were taken, the poll was overwhelmingly on Messenbrink's side, with him taking 71.9% of the votes. I found these results pretty interesting because I think these two guys have the potential to have a rivalry that's similar to that of Kyle Dakes and David Taylor's rivalry of almost a decade ago. Now, if you don't know Mitchell Messenbrink or Meyer Shapiro, these two guys have been on the come up for quite some time.
Meyer Shapiro gonna remain.
There's the wrist snap.
Oh, so quick.
Messenbrink's your winner.
Meyer Shapiro is from Maryland and wrestled for Bullis High School until transferring to the wrestling powerhouse of Wyoming Seminary his junior year. While at Wyoming Sem, he won a prep national title and a U17 gold medal. He committed to Cornell as the number 3 Big Board recruit of 2023 and decided not to wrestle in high school competition his senior year. Instead, Meyer would train at Cornell and wrestle at College Opens, who's number 1 in age-level world championships. Switching over to Mitchell Messenbrink, he had a bit of a slower rise to the top than Meyer. Mitchell is from Wisconsin and attended Arrowhead High School and is a product of the Askren Wrestling Academy. Going into his senior year, he fell all the way from a 3rd ranking to a 9th ranking. But after winning his high school state tournament, things started to change. Mitchell went on to take out a highly ranked Nico Ruiz at Journeyman. The next tournament, he won the U20 division at the US Open, beating guys like Caleb Henson and Paniro Johnson. The following tournament, Mitchell won the U20 World Team Trials, taking out Levi Haynes. This shot Mitchell all the way up to the number 1 ranking. Mitchell would then continue to turn heads by making the U20 World Finals. After that, Mitchell would change his commitment from California Baptist to Penn State. This massive pendulum swing has continued to stay with Mitchell, and he's continued to dominate all his age-level world competition. Now that you know a little more about these two athletes, let's ask some of the FloWrestling guys who they think would win in a match between Mitchell and Meyer. Vader, can I ask you a quick question real quick?
Quick question, real quick?
Yeah.
Will it be quick?
Who do you think would win in a match between Mitchell Messenbrink versus Meyer Shapiro?
Ooh, you're asking the tough questions.
Well, that's a great question. That is the question. Winning a match?
Yeah.
Man.
I'm actually surprised. You just turned you asked me that.
Wow, winning a match.
Winning a match?
He's like, it's like the Donald Trump. He was like, I'm just hearing this for the first time. It's like, what? No, you're not.
I think we can all agree that whoever wins that wrestling match, the real winners will be us, the fans.
Is it cheesy to say the fans? It's cheesy to say the fans.
Space edit.
God, space cheesy as they come.
I think I might pick Meyer to win just because he has so many different ways to score. His offensive abilities, he's shown maybe a little bit more to me than Messenbrink. Messenbrink just wears guys down, with his pace. And so I lean a little bit more towards like offensive attacks, offensive skills. But I think Messenbrink could win just as easily.
Offensively, Mitchell has more offense, can attack more. In the scrambles, I think Meyer would have an advantage. Meyer may even have like a power advantage. That's possible, but he's also going to be a little bit smaller, I think. So Mitchell would probably be my pick right now, but I'd really like to see it, that's for sure.
Meyer Shapiro.
Why?
Kid's got it.
Oh, if it's a folk style match, I'm gonna give the edge to Meyer Shapiro. This is assuming they're the same size. Right now, Messenbrink's bigger, but yeah, so I'll say freestyle, edge goes to Messenbrink. Folk style, edge goes to Shapiro. Edge, Meyer Shapiro.
I'll say Messenbrink, but it's like 15-14.
Ben Askren.
No, it's because he's got a freaking motor. But this is crazy because Shapiro's a freaking wizard. So they're going to get into a lot of exchanges. It's going to be a lot of attacks on both sides, a lot of counters on both sides, and the points are going to fly. You could wrestle 10 times, you probably have a different winner every time, but
You wrestle 10 times, you're not going to get the same result 10 times. Both those guys are so good in the scrambles. Messenbrink shoots so much that I could see, Shapiro being able to counter and win off of it. But I'll maybe say 6 times out of 10, I'll go with Messenbrink just because of size.
Right now, I might give the edge to Shapiro, but it depends on how long. Like the longer the match lasts, the better it is for Shapiro to make up the difference, to figure out a way to win. but I could see it going either way. It's a slight edge. Neither winning would surprise me. I think we need to see the match though.
If they wrestled today, I think I would pick Mitchell just because of size. Like I think that extra difference would like make I think that the size difference would make a significant difference in the match, maybe. I think like for their own weight classes, I feel like Meyer is a more powerful wrestler, but Messenbrink's pace is crazy. So
Trey Robinson of FloWrestling.
what up?
Can I ask you a question?
For sure.
Do you know who Mitchell Messenbrink and Meyer Shapiro are?
Couple USA cats.
Couple-
USA, everybody, USA, 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 USA. Yeah.
Okay, Trey. Who do
Could you
think?
mix out the part where Space said "shut up, Trey"? Though.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I would say probably Meyer Shapiro, just the way he's wrestling right now. You can tell he's been taking it serious in the training room, but also, you know, he's dialed in up top. And a lot of people, you know, they can put it together down here when the hands get to fighting and whatnot, but if they don't have the mental game going too, if there's not sharp up top here, then they're going to get lost, you know, once they get into deep waters. And I think Sharapov is a guy who can, you know, he can do all this, but he also is locked in, laser focused, and he's going to get the win, in my opinion.
After tallying up the results of the office votes, it appears Meyer takes this one in comparison to Kozak's poll that was leaning more heavily on Mitchell Messenbrink's side. Both these wrestlers have their pros and cons, but at the end of the day, as cliche as this sounds, you can wrestle these guys a million times and the results would come out different every single time. I personally hope we see this match in the future, but let us know in the comments who you think would win between Mitchell Messenbrink and Meyer Shapiro, and follow FloWrestling.